Embarking on a journey that spans 7 decades is a feat few couples can achieve. Now imagine doing so beneath the unrelenting gaze of the world's spotlight, where every step, every gesture is subjected to global scrutiny. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip undertook this extraordinary odyssey, showcasing to the world the boundless power of love as they navigated through the eras marked by wars, palace intrigues, and the unyielding demands of public life. As we delve deeper into their storied marriage, we unearth the nuances and curiosities that have remained veiled from public view. Join us on a journey of discovery as we reveal the mysterious sides of what the world never knew about Queen Elizabeth's marriage. Number 1. Why the Queen was advised not to marry Prince Philip. Biographer A.N. Wilson has conveyed that during her youth, Elizabeth was frequently advised against Philip as a suitable match due to his humorous and indiscreet nature, as reported by Telegraph. Wilson shared this insight at the 2016 Cheltenham Literary Festival. He recounted that even when Elizabeth, at around 14 years of age, expressed her affection for Prince Philip, a handsome German prince with blonde hair, courtiers disapproved of the match. Their objections stemmed from various concerns, but their underlying belief was that he wasn't the right choice. This sentiment persisted despite Philip's qualities as a naval officer, his subtle wit, and his future role as a king. It becomes evident that Elizabeth faced skepticism from courtiers regarding her attachment to Prince Philip. These reservations were grounded in his perceived lack of suitability due to his jovial and indiscreet tendencies. Despite Philip's handsome appearance and royal lineage, courtiers deemed him unfit match for the young princess who was marked by her discretion and diligence. The contrast between Philip's naval background and sense of humor and Elizabeth's poised and restrained demeanor likely intensified these concerns. Number 2. Share bloodline. Both Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, trace their ancestry back to Queen Victoria, emphasizing their distant familial connection. The lineage unfolds through various branches, showcasing the intricate ties that bind them. Queen Victoria's eldest son, King Edward VI, served as the foundational link. His lineage extends to King George V, who in turn fathered Elizabeth's father, King George VI. Meanwhile, Queen Victoria's lineage takes an alternate route through her second daughter, Princess Alice, and her descendant, Princess Victoria of Hesse. This lineage culminates in Princess Alice of Battenberg, who becomes Philip's mother. Surprisingly, this intricate web of connections reveals that the Queen and her husband share the distinction of being distant relatives. Their connection stems from their shared great great grandparents, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, who were themselves first cousins. During her adolescence, Elizabeth encountered Philip when she was just 13 years old. Despite their shared bloodline, she developed a swift affection for him. However, their upbringing diverged significantly. Elizabeth grew up in a privileged environment, while Philip experienced a more typical childhood, engaging in everyday activities like dishwashing and sports through local organizations. As their affection deepened, Philip pursued the path as a naval cadet, while Elizabeth embraced her destiny as the future monarch. This divergence in their early lives underscores the unique circumstances that brought them together. Number 3. They are also cousins through a king. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's ancestral lineage can be traced back to the prominent figure King Christian IX of Denmark. Queen Elizabeth II's connection to King Charles IX emerges through the generations, positioning her as his great great granddaughter. On the other hand, Prince Philip's lineage links him as the great grandson of the same esteemed king. Delving further into Queen Elizabeth II's lineage, her great grandfather, King Edward VII, played a pivotal role. Notably, his wife Alexandra hailed from the lineage of King Christian IX, being his daughter. In the case of Prince Philip, his origins led to Alice of Battenberg, his mother. Her husband, who also happens to be Prince Philip's father, was Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark. Remarkably, Prince Andrew's lineage traces back to King Christian IX through a direct line of descent. Historically, this lineage analysis sheds light to the intricate connections between European royalty. The shared ancestry of King Christian IX served as a unifying thread, bringing together Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip in a web of noble lineage. The various marriages and unions within this lineage showcase the diplomatic and strategic alliances, often forged among royal families, shaping the course of the history and the interconnectedness of monarchies. Number 4. Their engagement is hidden. The year 1946 marked a significant moment as Philip extended a proposal of marriage to Elizabeth. However, King George VI, with a fatherly concern for his daughter's well being, attached a condition to this joyous event. He requested a postponement of the announcement until the following year, 1947. The decision stemmed from a dual perspective. Firstly, Elizabeth's age was a central consideration. At the time of the proposal, she was merely 20 years old. The king, mindful of her youth, harbored reservations about the timing of the announcement. His paternal instinct led him to believe that a slight delay would allow Elizabeth to further mature and better comprehend the gravity of her decision. Secondly, a more intricate layer underpinned the delay. The king and his wife, Queen Elizabeth, later known as the Queen Mother, recognized the complexity of the public's perception of Philip's integration into the royal fold. This upbringing had been marred by challenges, and his familial lineage bore traces of instability marked by the turbulent reigns of his ancestors. Moreover, his multinational background added to the intricacy of his identity within the royal context. The amalgamation of these factors led to the conclusion that a time was needed to nurture acceptance and understanding among the public. The king's sagacity in considering both his daughter's age and the nuanced perceptions of Philip's background demonstrated a thoughtful and strategic approach to this union. Number 5. Is this an arranged marriage? Throughout history, Royal has upheld a long-standing tradition of uniting their own royal kin, driven by two crucial motives. The first stems from their distinction as non-commoners. The second motive revolves around the strategic element of these matrimonial unions, as marriages among royal peers often serve to cement and fortify political alliances, fostering cohesion among ruling dynasties. However, the story of Elizabeth and Philip diverged from this conventional narrative, echoing the precedent set of Elizabeth's forebears. Their union was rooted in a profound love that transcended the strategic considerations typically associated with royal marriages. King George VI, Elizabeth's father, exemplified this sentiment, persistently proposing to his future wife before ultimately winning her affection and securing a marital bond. In a candid moment, Elizabeth's commitment to Philip and their shared life became evident. Over a breakfast conversation, she expressed her heartfelt conviction, declaring, "I desire nothing more than to be with Philip and find the same happiness my parents cherished." Her words encapsulated a sincere desire for a love filled partnership that mirrored her parents' own. Historically, Elizabeth and Philip's marriage marked a departure from convention. It showcased a shift towards prioritizing genuine emotions and individual happiness, rather than solely emphasizing political ties and strategic allegiances. Number 6. He must accept sacrifice. The path to marrying Elizabeth demanded significant adjustments to Philip, entailing a series of transformative steps in his life. Foremost among this was his attainment of British citizenship through naturalization. Additionally, an intriguing stipulation was set. None of his German relatives were permitted to partake in the forthcoming wedding. This decree encompassed Philip's own sisters, who had entered matrimonial unions with German partners. Delving into historical context, these prerequisites illuminate the intricate nature of royal marriages during that era. The demand for Philip's naturalization underscored the significance of British allegiance and integration into the fabric of the nation's monarchy. The exclusion of his German family members reflected the intricate political landscape and sensitivities of the time, particularly in the aftermath of World War II. Number 7. Wedding with tight economy. The concept of a royal wedding often conjures images of opulence, sophistication, and grandeur, traits that have characterized many, such as ceremonies in recent history. Comparable to the splendid union of Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge, the matrimonial celebrations of Elizabeth and Philip were subject to certain financial constraints. Their wedding took place during a period of significant austerity, as Britain was grappling with the aftermath of World War II. The economic challenges of the era were reflected even in the Queen to be's attire. Elizabeth had to navigate a unique circumstance. She utilized ration coupons to secure the materials of her wedding gown, while the government granted her an additional 200 coupons specifically for the dress. This detail accentuates the shared experience of the nation's post war struggles. Number 8. A peaceful life after marriage. In the initial years of their marriage, prior to Queen Elizabeth assuming her formal responsibilities, the couple led a relative unpretentious life, residing on the Mediterranean island of Malta. Philip fulfilled his role as a naval officer within the Navy's ranks. During this phase, Elizabeth embraced a more unassuming existence, as recounted by Lady Pamela Hicks, her close confidant of that era, engaging in activities like shopping, exploring local attractions, indulging in conversations, and even trying her hand at samba dancing. Elizabeth's lifestyle reflected a sense of relatability and spontaneity. Notably, this period marked her introduction to the handling of currency, a novel experience for a future monarch. Number 9. Couples refuse to share a bed. Yes, you've understood correctly. It's evident that many members of the upper class take great pleasure in having their own sleeping quarters, and this preference extends to the Queen and her husband. Etiquette authority Lady Pam, who happens to be the Queen's cousin, offered insights in a biography about her relative. In England, it's customary for the aristocracy to maintain separate bedrooms. This practice ensures that disturbances such as noise, snoring, or restless leg movements don't interfere with one's sleep. However, there are occasions when the allure of coziness prompts them to share a room. This choice adds an element of delight to their living arrangements. Interestingly, this approach seemed to work well for them, given that they raised 4 children together. What adds up a unique twist to this narrative is the fact that When Elizabeth assumed the title of Queen in 1953, Philip didn't automatically receive an upgrade from his existing status as Duke of Edinburgh. Surprisingly, it took an additional 4 years for Philip to officially attain the rank of prince. This dynamic inadvertently accentuated the existing power dynamics between them. Over the course of their 50-year journey, a wealth of experience naturally fosters a tendency to offer guidance and advice. Curiously, the couple has a rather uncommon habit. They rarely hold hands in public. This sets them apart, especially considering that their grandsons have displayed affectionate gestures towards their partners openly, while the younger generation engages in public displays of affection. The Queen opts to maintain a more reserved stance, keeping her impeccably gloved hands to herself. Number 10. Sex outside while wife is pregnant. In the year 1948, the couple welcomed their first child, Prince Charles, marking a significant milestone in their marital journey. Interestingly, that same year, rumors emerged suggesting that Prince Philip was engaged in an affair with Pat Kirkwood. Pat Kirkwood held a spotlight as a prominent musical comedy star and held the distinction of being the highest paid actress on London's theatrical scene at that time. The introduction between Prince Philip and Pat Kirkwood occurred backstage at the theater facilitated by her boyfriend. Their interaction took a more public turn as Philip and Pat shared a dinner outing in London, followed by a night of dancing that extended into early hours of dawn at a nightclub. This unfolding narrative, however, occurred against the backdrop of Elizabeth's presence at home, a fact that becomes even more intriguing given her advanced stage of pregnancy with Prince Charles. Allegedly, this initial meeting was followed by 6 subsequent encounters and the exchange of letters. The impact of these rumors on Pat Kirkwood's career was substantial. The speculation surrounding her alleged involvement with Prince tarnished her professional reputation, leading to adverse consequences for her standing within the entertainment industry. Notably, in 1957, during a solo journey by Prince Philip to the Commonwealth, his personal secretary, Mark Parker, found himself entangled in controversy as his wife filed for divorce, subsequently leading to significant speculation regarding the Queen's husband. This episode prompted a noteworthy response from the Queen's spokesperson, who issued a rare statement asserting the falsehood of any rumors of discord between the Queen and the Duke. Number 11. The birth has broken the stains that have long been. The birth of Prince Charles in 1948 marked a historic occurrence as he became the first male born to a reigning king's eldest child since 1762. This lineage precedent finds its parallel in the birth of George IV, the first child of King George III during his reign. The subsequent birth of Prince Andrew in 1960 continued this legacy, signifying another significant milestone. Prince Andrew holds the distinction of being the first child born to a reigning monarch since 1757, a year that witnessed the birth of Queen Victoria's ninth child. Historically, these occurrences emphasize the rarity of such births within the context of royal lineage. The lengthy gaps between these events underscore the infrequency with which children born to a king's eldest child during their reign have taken place. These moments carry symbolic weight, showcasing the continuation of dynastic heritage and the perpetuation of the royal lineage. Number 12. He's gone in the kitchen. Who needs a chef when there's Prince Philip? Indeed, the father of four displays remarkable culinary prowess, as revealed by the author Ingrid Seward in her work, My Husband and I, The Inside Story of the Royal Marriage. In the absence of the Queen, due to her royal duties, Prince Philip assumes the role of chef, preparing dinners for Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Not limiting his culinary talents to dinner, Prince Philip extends his culinary efforts to the morning routine. When his fellow royals are present at home, he takes pleasure in crafting breakfast delights. His expertise shines particularly in the realm of omelets, scrambled eggs, and smoked cod, a reputation that has undoubtedly earned him culinary acclaim within the royal household. This glimpse into Prince Philip's domestic contributions paints a multifaceted portrait of his role within the royal family. This insight showcases the blend of tradition and relatability that characterizes the British monarchy, where even royal figures engage in practical and nurturing endeavors to support and strengthen family bonds. Although the Queen and Prince Philip have passed away, the legacies they left behind are secrets that many of us have never known. How does it feel to learn the truths and secrets of the Queen's centuries long love affair? Please like, share, and click subscribe to update more videos on the same topic that you love. Thanks for being here.